Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Cedric. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Avonni. Today, LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live event is all about the new features we are releasing with the Avonni Components version 5.3. So I'm going to dive into all the new features and enhancements we are shipping with this new release. Before diving this live, I'd like to have a reminder. It's a LinkedIn live event, YouTube live event, so all lines are mute to provide the better audio and clear listening environment. If you have any question as well, feel free to post your question directly on the chat. I will be happy to answer your questions. And also, this live event is being recorded and it will be available afterwards once the event is finished. So what do we have on the agenda today? First, I will really briefly introduce what is and what are the Avonni components, and I will dive into the main topics, which is the new features regarding the Avonni components for Flow Builder, and also the new features regarding the Avonni components for Experience Cloud side. Then, small time for Q&A if you have any question, and finally, closing remarks and next steps. Quick introduction about Avonni, the Avonni components. So it's a managed package available on the App Exchange, and it's all about empowering your Salesforce journey by transforming complex building solution with the help of no-code components. So we provide a library of 60 pre-built UI components you can use right inside Salesforce to create any type of custom solution without having to dive into custom code. So that's really great. It's really building blocks for Salesforce, for Flow Builder, and for Experience Cloud side. So regarding what we have on the track for this new release version 5.3, we have a bunch of updates for Flow Builder and for Experience Cloud Builder. I will dive first with the new interaction we are going to ship with this new release. Also, a new integration regarding the Avonni Map component. Now you will have access to Leaflet Maps integration. Then I will discuss briefly about some enhancements regarding the Avonni record detail for Flow Builder. Also discussing and demoing some enhancements regarding the Avonni data table. And finally, regarding Flow Builder, showing you some new enhancements regarding the Avonni video player for the Vimeo support. And then I will discuss regarding the Avonni components for Experience Cloud side, especially regarding the Avonni record detail component. So I like to talk, but I really better like to show you things live and provide you the best and really very informative demo regarding those new features. So let's dive into the new features we are shipping, and some of the new features, it's new interactions. As you know, the Avonni components come with various interactions that can make your custom building solution really functional inside your Salesforce. One of the new interactions we are shipping with this new release is the Open Flow panel. And it's extremely powerful, extremely useful. It's all about the user experience. Let's say here I have this employee directory on an account page. I'm using the Avonni data table, classic Avonni data table, but here I added like an action button. And this action button will open another flow, but not inside the model. It will open another flow directly inside the component, directly inside the data table. So let's say I'm clicking here on the expand panel. It will automatically load the other flow directly inside the data table. I can click on another item to see related information. I can even use, let's say department, change that to marketing, save the information, close the model box. It will automatically refresh the table. So you have now access to the Open Flow panel interaction. So how you can use and set up this new interaction? I will show you that on another example. I have this example right there. It's the opportunity list. And right there, I have a data table with a list of opportunities. I'd like to have an action button to expand and to get access to more information regarding my opportunity. So we'll just open the flow, open the screen flow. Let's take the Avonni data table, open the component builder. The first thing I need to do first, it's really to add a new column, to add a button. So I will go on my data source section, data mapping, add column. And what kind of column is it? It's a button column. Button icon. Let me panel. Okay, bear. And let's, I think we have already a panel. Yes, then there is already an icon available. So, okay, now I have this new column added with this new panel icon. I will just fine tune the column just to set maybe a fixed width on the size. It will look better on my data table. Okay, the button is there, the action button is there, but now I need to make this button icon clickable and functional. That's where the interaction tab comes into play. I will create an interaction on a raw action. I will select the target name panel. And then for the type of interaction, there is the new open flow panel interaction we added. It's exactly like the open flow dialog, but within a panel. Here you need to type the flow. You need to select the flow you'd like to open. So I will select the flow. It's demo. Demo opportunity panel. Now you have various settings like input variable. So we just type the input variable. It's input on my case. And I like to pass the record ID here on the other flow I want to open, opportunity ID. Okay, perfect, close that. Then you have various settings, let's say outer. So if that's enabled, the panel will be displayed outside the component, outside the data table. Then you can also set the size, let's say large, for example. And you can also specify interaction when you're finishing that, when the flow is finished, when this flow is finished, or when this flow is, you're closing the panel. So let's say when I'm closing the panel, I'd like to do refresh all queries. I will dive into this new one as well in a few minutes. So let's just save the flow and let's activate the flow to see it live on my example. So now I will refresh the page to make sure I have access to the latest information. So now I should see my button right there. It's loading the opportunities. Let's select an item. And now it's displaying the panel right there, which is really nice. And I can update information from there. It will automatically update the information. So that's really for the open flow panel. You just saw how to create interaction regarding the open flow panel. Now the next one, it's another interaction as well. I will go on the account page and let's take back this directory example with using the Avonni data table. We added a new interaction. It's called open quick action. Now, with using that interaction, you can open any quick action you want. For example, here I added this button icon as an email, and I already set up the open quick action. It will automatically open the quick action to send an email to the specific contact I have selected. Right there. You will see it's changing the contact information because I'm clicking on another record. So now, how can we set up that on the data table? Let's take the flow, Avonni data table, open the component builder. Let's first add a new button. So I like to open, this time I like to open the quick action to create a new task. Let's say add column. It's a button icon like I did before, task. Let's select icon name task. Okay. Let's set fixed width 40 pixel. Okay, I will just move the column order. Okay, now my button icon is added on the data table. I can go on interaction, add raw action, select task, the target name I just created as a button icon. And here I will select the new open quick action. Now I need to enter the API name of my quick action I'd like to trigger. So here, basically, the API name, let me show you here on my Salesforce. If I'm going on the object manager, I am on the contact object. So let's say I'm the contact object. Action, I have already an action for task, new task. So I need to use this column, name, new task. I will copy the name and going back on the flow, quick action name, new task. But I need to add something before. I need to add the object name dot new task. So Salesforce will know which quick action it needs to open. Record ID, I will just say, okay, I'd like to link that to the contact ID I am currently. Done. So let's do the same process, save and activate the flow to see it live on the page and to do a test. Okay, I will just refresh the page and go to the directory using the Avonni data table. I like the directory one because it's a flow. It's a screen flow using the Avonni data table. And now, yes, I have the task button. Let's press the task button, automatically open the quick action to create a new task. So that's pretty handy, very useful and powerful for your users if you really want to fine-tune the user experience regarding this new open quick action interaction. Let's get back to the home page with this example. I have a lot of things on this page. I will just edit the page just to make things maybe bigger, especially for the opportunity board. I have this flow right there. I will save the page. So a new interaction we added, it's the refresh all queries interaction. So using this interaction, refresh all queries, let's take this example. Open the panel right there, and let's edit the amount. Let's say 4,005,000. Okay, save. So it's saving the information. Now I will close the panel, and here on finish, I set up a refresh all queries, and you will see all the flow element using the Avonni data source as a query will automatically refresh. So let's close that. And you see now the opportunity pipeline is also updating the information. It's not inside the same screen flow. It's really two separate screen element, flow element inside the page. So with this new refresh all queries interaction, you are now able to refresh all the queries, all the Avonni components that are using the query data source that are inside the page. That's really great. You can really think about a lot of use case to make sure all the information are always updated. So let's dive deeper that to see the setup. So the refresh all query, I did that on the opportunity. That's the flow panel I am opening, not this one, the panel, open flow panel. So here I have the header, I have the record detail, basic stuff. But now if I'm going back to here on the data table regarding the opportunity pipeline demo, let's take the Avonni data table, open the component builder, and if we go on the interaction on the panel, I have set up on-close interaction. And here, that's where I have selected refresh all queries. We just do it again, refresh all queries. You also have additional option like flow scope. If you like to, by default, it's not enabled, but if it's enabled, it would be only confined to the existing flow, and you can also exclude the flow you are opening as, for example, as a panel. So there is two additional options you can enable if you want. So that's really for the refresh all queries interaction with, which I think it's extremely, as I said, powerful because you can make sure all the data are automatically updated in real time on the page. Okay, So now the next new features, it's regarding the Avonni Map. So now on the Avonni Map, we added the Leaflet Maps integration. So that's what you can see here. It's not using Google Maps, it's using Leaflet Maps, which is based on OpenStreetMap. So basically it's do exactly the same things, but I would say that there is two main differences of using Leaflet Maps over Google Maps. First, you can really display an unlimited number of markers inside the map. Be careful, because if you like to display 8,000 markers on the map, you might have some performance issue. But let's say you like to display 500, 900 markers on the map, that's possible. Using the Google Maps, you have a standard limit of 100 markers you can display at a time. And the other thing that is extremely powerful using the Leaflet Maps, you can make the map reactive. So I don't have an example right now, but we are working on a use case. Basically, let's say you zoom in into Paris, and you will load the data inside Paris, and you can make the map reactive. So as you're moving the map, it will automatically refresh data based on the current map location. That's something extremely useful, powerful using the Leaflet Maps, and that's something you can't do using Google Maps. That's a limitation of using Google Maps. So if you like to make your map more reactive as you're scrolling or moving the map, that's possible to make the query reactive, and that's supported on the Leaflet Maps. As I said, a use case tutorial will be shipped out in the coming weeks regarding this. The next new features, it's more an enhancement on an existing component, let's say on the record detail right there. Now on the Avonni record detail component, you have the ability to set a field as required. So let's take, for example, you see status, it's not a required field. Now I'm able to go on the flow, open flow panel, open the record detail component. So it's loading the component here. And then let's say status, you now have this little required icon. You can make this field required additionally of the standard settings you have for the field on your Salesforce. So that's really an enhancement regarding required field on a specific field using the record detail. We also added the fields layout, so you can now more fine-tune the column layout based on the device size. If you'd like to have 1, 2, 3 columns based on, depending on the screen size you're using, you can now customize the number of columns you want to display. Okay, new features as well. Let me show you this. It's regarding the data table, and on the data table, we now supported the Upsert on-save interaction. So let's discuss about a use case. Let's say here I have this screen flow using the Avonni CSV parser. I will just move this up on the page so we'll better see the component. So let's say my use case is using the CSV parser component. It's to be able to upload data from a CSV file. But, so we just drag a CSV file and do the mapping. What I configure on my flow here, when I press next, what I did, I'm using the data table to display information, but in edit mode. So before, and those data, it's really data coming from a CSV file that are not on Salesforce now. They are not created on Salesforce. That's really data I like to import. So they are brand new data. But before importing those data, I can now change information. Oh, I like to change the industry. I like to change the website, or let's say a demo Avonni LinkedIn Live. And what I did on the Avonni data table, I added on-save interaction, and it's really an Upsert interaction. Save, So now the data is automatically created on Salesforce. So if I'm going on the account, let's say new this week, you will see Avonni account demo LinkedIn live. That's the account I just created. Now it's live on Salesforce. I was able to import using the CSV parser, the Avonni CSV parser, and also being able to edit the information before creating the information on Salesforce, which is good, really great, depending on the use case you have. So if we're going on the flow now, once again, let's open the flow CSV. I have my first screen, basic setup, CSV parser, account name. I didn't specify any default mapping. And then what I did on the second screen, data table, open component builder. What I did first, on the data source, I'm using the variable data collection. What I did, I select the variable coming from the CSV component, display the records of the CSV component. And then what I did, I just dragging the column I'd like to display on the data table. So make sure to have the exact same column as the one you have on the CSV file. Let's make it all editable, display as input. And now when you go on interaction, on save, that's new, you have the Upsert records. That's what I did. So if you're doing the update record, it won't work because you're not updating record. Those records are not live on Salesforce yet. They are not created on Salesforce. I need to create those records on Salesforce. So that's why I'm using the Upsert records interaction. And that's how I was able to achieve the exact same example as the one I show you using this one. Next new features, next new feature on the 5.3 version, it's regarding the video player. So now let's say I will go on the contact card. We now support Vimeo video. Before that, it was only YouTube video or only up to upload files. Now you can really add any Vimeo link, and the Avonni video support will automatically display the Vimeo video. So again, if I'm going on the flow, I'm using the video player. And what I did, I just copy paste the video URL right there. And it's displaying properly on the component because now we have integrated Vimeo, the Vimeo player. Okay, next new features. It's mostly done regarding new features for Flow Builder. Now let's discuss about Experience Cloud Site. We have one new features regarding Experience Cloud Site. It's regarding the Avonni record detail component. So here I am on an Experience Cloud Site. I'm using the Avonni record detail component coming from the list of custom components we provide with the same package, using right there the Avonni record detail. And a new feature on the Avonni record detail, it's now the ability to choose the layout and to select custom. And when you select custom, you have the custom layout builder. You can click here, and like we have on the Avonni record detail component for flows, you can really drag and drop fields you'd like to display. As a column, let's say region. You can also add section right there. So let's say a general information. We just remove this section right there. And done. So now I have my custom record detail component that will be displayed on the page. I can also link that to the current record ID using the expression from the Experience Cloud site. Okay, so now it should display the information coming from the actual record I am right now. But maybe I don't have any information from this. I will just add the name. Okay. Account name done. Should display the account name information at the top. Yes, okay. That's because I don't have any data on those fields, but it's displaying the correct information based on the expression I set up. Okay, just came back to my StreamYard because I saw that there is some question from you and from Andrew. Was the flow launch from the data table? It was a screen flow or auto launch flow? It was a screen flow. So let me show you here, going back on the open flow panel interaction. Let's take this one. The panel, it's a screen flow. So here, the flow I am opening as a panel, it's, let's take the good opportunity panel. Where is my flow? Okay, this one. This is the screen flow. So you can only open screen flow as a panel. And that's the screen flow I am opening. Another question, does the user have to click on X to close the side panel flow in order to trigger the data to refresh? Excellent question. For now, yes, but soon we will integrate the refresh all queries on save for specific component. Oh, no, I made a mistake because we are working hard. It's already there. So yes, you can achieve what you're looking for, Andrew, by using the refresh all queries. So let me explain you briefly what I did. Here, this is the flow panel I am opening. So on the record detail of the flow panel, I just set up an interaction on save and say refresh all queries. So now let's do a live test. I didn't notice about that. Maybe 4 or 5 days ago it was not there, but we are keep working and always adding new features. So okay, let's refresh this. Let's do a live test. So now I should be able to edit the information from the panel. Okay. Let's change the status. And let's press save. You see now it's refreshing all the queries. So I don't have to click on the close button to refresh all the queries. So I can even, do some fine tuning on the flow, and not on this one, but on the flow with the original data table. I can remove the interaction on the flow panel. Here I have on close, I can remove this one because refresh all queries is already being triggered at the record detail component level. Let me know if that answers your question. Are we going to see hierarchy data table? What do you mean, Juan? Hierarchy data table. Are you looking about like the group or like the tree grid or something like this? Because regarding the hierarchy data table, right now, if I understanding your question correctly, we only support the group by. There is no way to, like on this one, there is a group by. It's like a hierarchy with only one level, but there is no like multiple level of hierarchy on a record. Not yet. That's something that might come, but right now that's not available. I know that on the next release, we are going to revamp the Avonni tree. There is an Avonni tree available. And right now it's all manual, so you can add item manually. But on the upcoming version, it will be you will be able to create a query from there and have a tree of items. Let's say contact, account, contact, and have a tree of that. So that's coming on the 5.4. And what's coming also on the 5.4, it's real-time communication between components on a specific event without reloading or refreshing the page. Real-time communication. Great. Awesome. Let me know if you have any other question regarding this new version, any question in general. I would be happy to help you with those questions, so feel free to ask. Otherwise, as I said, this LinkedIn Live event will be available as a replay just after the meeting, so in few minutes. But I really hope you enjoyed this new release. It's already available, by the way, on the App Exchange. So if you're going on the App Exchange, you can update the version with the 5.3. It's already there. It's already live on the App Exchange. So if you like to live test the new features, you can live test the new features right now. If you don't have any more questions, feel free to keep me posted. And otherwise, if you have any question, we are always available on LinkedIn, by email, by chat. So thank you so much for joining me today on this live event. I really hope to do more live event in the coming weeks with new features and maybe with use case building. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.